I am with Keri Korthals. You are the Butler County Emergency Manager in Kansas, and we're talking today about preparing a personal go bag for the times when you may have to evacuate during, say, a storm or something. What should one look for to take in one of those things?
When you're packing an emergency kit, and this would be both if you have to evacuate or even if you're staying put, if we've got something like the significant severe weather possibility that tends to pop up during the spring, you may be staying put in your residence as well. So this is a kit that will allow you to sustain yourself for whether it's a few hours up to potentially several days if some kind of emergency hits that's keeping you away from all of your normal stuff. So think anything that in your day-to-day life you're going to need to get your hands on, whether it's just the essentials of life, like food, big important thing, water, just your daily life supplies, or something more along the lines of safety supplies, like think your flashlights or your emergency whistles. And then to take it even a step further, if you have something specialized in your life that you really can't do without, like medication, or if you have an infant at home and you need baby food or baby formula, or somebody who's got some kind of a medical need on oxygen. And think of your go kit too as potentially something that's really small and easy to grab, like a backpack, or it could be something larger too, depending on your personal needs or how large your household is. You may need, instead of just a backpack like this, you may need an entire tote or two totes in order to get everything that you need to get your family covered.
Right. What's something like that cost to put together?
So the cost can really be a huge spread from very elaborate and very expensive to something that you just put together with all of your homegrown supplies.
Other than supplies, what else ought to be in there?
You might want to include something like cash, because if you think about it, the way to use credit cards and things requires on electricity, so it requires the power to be on, it requires all the banking systems to be up. So cash might be a good thing to have on hand. All of your important documents, identification type of papers, are something you might want to have on you as well. You might want to have medical records of some kind as well. If there's things that you normally access electronically, having them in that redundant hard copy version as well is essential, so that you can get to them in a hurry if you need them.
Papers that show who you are and what you own.
Exactly, who you are, what you own. So true, if you think about it too, if your house were to take an unfortunate hit and now you've got to go back to insurance and say, this is what I had, make me whole, you do need a way to prove that as well.
Right.
One thing that I would really encourage people to do is to do that pre-planning for the emergency kit well before the emergency. Because when the time comes, when the tornado warning has been issued, or the wildfire's moving in and the evacuation order has been issued, whatever the circumstance that's making you have to move in a hurry, that's not the time where you want to be thinking through what are all those crucial things that I absolutely cannot manage without. And if you're pulling them ahead of time, think of it a lot like preparing for a trip. If you start packing 5 minutes before you go to the airport, you're going to forget something important. If you do it several days ahead of time, start making that list of what you might need, you're a lot more successful in having a very complete kit.